Hi, good day everyone. My name is Adiga Adejoke. You're welcome to my YouTube channel, Maringos. Maringos is an online platform where we do guidance, counseling, and even prayers for relationship, marriage, and other real life issues. You're welcome to today's episode. Previously, we've been talking about abuse in marriage, how you can identify abuse in marriage. We talked about the abuser. Today, we shall be talking about the victim in the marriage, the victim of abuse in marriage. Okay, an abused person is someone who had undergone, is undergoing, or will undergo any form of bullying, torture, and oppression by anybody. We have we have people, we have abusers in our families, among our siblings. We have them in our society. We have them in the marriage itself. So how do we know that we are abused, or how do we spot an abused fellow? Okay, let me quickly talk about the forms of abuse. There are different forms or kinds of abuse. Abuse can come in any form. It necessarily doesn't have. There are people that they won't raise their hands to beat you, but the things they will do to you, you will be much more abused than someone who has been physically assaulted. So we'll list few of the forms today. One is emotional abuse. Emotional abuse is using your weakness to get back at you, using your weakness against you, turning your weakness around and using it against you, using your weakness to get back at you, or using your weakness against you makes you a victim of emotional abuse. That is emotional abuse. Okay, number two is financial abuse. Financial abuse is not showing responsibility, and it is also depriving one of financial rights. A father can deprive his children of their financial rights. A mother can do the same. A man can deprive his wife of her financial rights. When one is not financially responsible, or when you deprive other people of their financial rights, makes you a financial abuser and makes the victim financially abused. This is the more reason I tell I tell women, especially women in the South African settings, I tell women to go get a job. Make sure you're working, be engaged in something. Even if you're a stay-at-home mom, you can be in your house and do something. There's so many things around now that you can do. Sometimes you don't even need to leave your house. There's so many things you can do now that you don't even need capital to start. You don't need physical money to start them, because you can even make use of the things within the things you have at your hand, the things you have in your hands to start something. So people are getting wiser every day. You should get wiser too. So you need to do something. You can just sit home all day, watch African magic, not doing anything. And the other party, we have to go out, struggle, hustle, come back home, and you become a burden to that person. That person gets frustrated, is running crazy. If you're not careful, it falls into depression even without knowing it. Even you yourself can go into depression, and before you know, abuses and all those things begins to come. It begins, and it doesn't lead to a good ending, except if it is well managed, except if it is properly handled. Also, I will be talking about spiritual abuse. Spiritual abuse is forcing you to practice a religion or doctrine against your will, or depriving you of your spiritual rights, or rendering you spiritually incapable about certain things. Sometimes ago, a couple got married. The guy was a Muslim practicing Islam, and the lady was a Christian. And the guy already told the lady, "Oh, you're a Christian, I'm a Muslim. I'm not going to force you into anything. I'm not going to make you to become a Muslim. You can keep practicing your Christianity while I remain when I keep practicing my Islamic religion, I remain a Muslim. Don't worry, I'm not going to bother you. I'm not going to force you into what you don't want and all that." The lady believed, and they got married. On that wedding night that they got back to the hotel, the next thing the guy did was he handed her this plastic kettle and told her, with this you shall worship your God henceforth. So it begins to she the next day they gave her this hijab that covers her face. She has to wear socks, cover her hands and all that. She cried and cried and cried, but there was nothing she could do. I call that a blackmail. That was a big blackmail. Okay. Another one is sexual abuse. Sexual abuse is rape, assault, torment, and misuse of sexual activities or inappropriate approach to sex that is demeaning, degrading, and against a person's will or using their ignorance. Some of those things happen to children out of ignorance. We have people who are rapists. They abuse other people sexually, force them to do what they don't want to do against their own will. That is an abuse. I usually tell mothers, start telling your children, start giving them sex education. Start giving them sex education right from the tender age. Don't wait till they're 19 years, 15 years before you tell them things. Right from when they start crawling, tell them things. The world we are now is a very wicked one. Fine, you pray for your children, you pray for your family, and you also teach them and train them properly so that some things will be avoided. Of course, there are some things that are not intentional, some things are just beyond control. But at least you would have tried and tried and tried your best. Okay, another form of abuse is physical abuse. Beating, battering, fighting others, leading to physical scars or marks on them is an abuse, is a physical abuse. I know of a guy, a young man, that likes to beat his son. He will beat his son until blood comes out of the boy. A man, his own son, will beat the boy, and at the slightest mistake, he beats the boy for anything, everything. And there are several scars on the boy's face, his body, everywhere, marks. If you check his back, you see marks, huge big scars, marks. He stopped because I threatened him that I was going to report him to the police. That was why he stopped, because he was afraid. He kept bullying the boy, torturing and oppressing him. Things like that happen in our families. Even other children that are not our families, people when you leave your child to go live elsewhere with some other people and all that due to situations and things like that. Such things can happen. So physical abuse is not just in a marriage alone, not just in relationship alone. Even in families, it happens. It happens. So this should, if you're getting married, you're in a relationship, a guy is already slapping you, he's already beating you, tapping the back of your head, and will be pushing you like the kilomai shieno. Or he tells you, you don't talk to me like that, I'm the head. A guy is in a relationship and is already claiming head. You should expect more when you get married. When someone tells you, I will slap you now, and he tells you he's jerking, come on. By the time you get married, he's going to, even before you get married, he will do it. He will do so much more. So you have to be careful You have to be intentional. You have to be prepared. You don't go into marriage unprepared. You don't start a family unprepared. You have to prepare. When you prepare, you already block down some things, negative things that are supposed to happen. That's why you don't make um from relationship to marriage is a step. You have to climb this step one after the other. You don't jump the steps, because if you miss the steps, man, you might have to regret it. You might live to regret. Okay, that's that. So how do we spot an abused fellow? How do we spot someone who has been abused or who is undergoing an abuse? First is they are always moody and unusually quiet. They don't want to talk because they don't want you to ask them anything that will make them talk about what they are experiencing. They like to keep to themselves. So they are always moody and unusually quiet. Number two, you see regular fresh marks on your body. Regular fresh marks, scars will seen. It will appear. It will be seen on their body regularly. And when you ask them, "Oh, madam, what happened to your eyes?" Yeah, oh, the eyes. They are quickly thinking of what to say. Actually, hit it against the door. You say, "Ouch! What happened to your? Look at your finger. What is it? What happened? Look at your legs. What happened?" Eh, it is one useless Okada man, no. I laughed because I remembered something that happened. One of my uncles, one of, and let me call him a family friend. He actually fought with his wife. He fought with the wife and beat her up, domestic violence, and she broke her neck. They had to put this, what do they call it? I don't know what, this plastic something on her neck. So she sat in the sitting room one day, and her friends came for a visit. And I'm like, "Hey, alright, kilo share, what happened to your neck?" And he said, "Oh, Ori Bridgie, yeah, mani, Ori Bridgie, Katie." He said she was working on the bridge, she was on heels, and she fell and broke her neck. It was a lie. It was that man that beat her up. She was beaten. And when they asked, "Okay, look at your body scars. Is it still that bridge that made these marks on your body?" "Yes, so it's the bridge." Very unfortunate. So, number three, they will tell a fake story around the scars on their body, just like what I told you. Creating fake story around whatever has happened to them, around the scars that you see, that is visible on their bodies. Okay, they look down at their feet when you look into their eyes to communicate with them. So when you want to communicate and you're looking into their eyes, they don't look at you eyeball to eyeball. They look down at their feet. Why? Because they are beginning to develop low self-esteem. Number five, they develop low self-esteem. Yes. Beating every day. I know of a lady back when I was in the university, a girl and a guy were cohabiting, and this guy will beat this girl up. Will beat her up and sleep with her. But if he wants to sleep with her and she says no, this guy will not agree. He will remove his belt and beat her up. And the next thing we'll be hearing at our own there is moans. Moans, either cries or moans of pleasure. You can imagine. Okay, also, this is the last point now. They avoid anything crowd. They avoid crowd. They avoid staying in a crowded place. They avoid group discussions. They avoid any topic about marriage. They don't want to talk about it. They don't want to say anything about marriage or about violence, so that their secret will not open, so that you won't get to know that they are actually abused in their marriage. So these few points that we have discussed will make you know, will make you to understand if you are an abuser, or if you are the abused, if you're the one at the receiving end, if you're the victim now, or if you have friends and families who are abused. That is when you will be able to help. And if you are the abuser, that's when you will be able to take necessary steps to stop it. And if you are the victim, if you're the abused, you know what next to do to stop it from to stop it from happening again. Because the thing is, when a man slaps you once, he will continue to do it. If he tells you, "Oh, I'm sorry, it was a mistake, you pushed me to do it," another time he will do it again and again, and he will keep blaming you for it. He will keep blaming you that you caused it. He will keep telling you it was a mistake. Your parents have not even beaten you that much while you were growing up. So why will you be in a relationship and someone's son will pick you up and be beating you like a goat? That you are not. You are not a goat. You are a human being, a queen that deserves respect, that deserves to be treated well, that deserves to be pampered. And abuse is not just it's not just it doesn't just happen to women alone. Even men, they experience it. So let's just watch it. Let's take necessary steps. Let us stop it so that we can all live in peace and love and unity. We have come to the end of today's episode. I hope you enjoyed it, and I hope you've been able to learn something. So please and please like, comment on my this program. Also, I would like you to subscribe. Please and please subscribe to my YouTube channel, so that you keep getting more and more interesting episodes. Yes, again, my name is Adiga Adejoke. I love you. Have a nice day. Bye.